Everybody, just got back in town, and for everybody complaining about it being cold down here, just where I came from, I was up in Ohio and Michigan. It's in the single digits and felt like it was negative degrees. So anybody complaining about, 50 being cold or 60 being cold, yeah. It was so cold up there, if you were outside for over 10 minutes with exposed skin, you risked frostbite. That means body parts will freeze and could possibly fall off. Not fun. The snow was fun though, I'm not gonna lie. So, as I'm up there, I'm with my family, and as a family we go see Pitch Perfect 3. Why? Yeah, just because. And you know what? It was nice being with the family, all sitting down, watching a movie. It's a shame it was Pitch Perfect 3. So, how to put this bluntly? Originally, when they asked me afterwards, was this going to be on my top 10 worst list, I said no. But looking back at the movies I've seen this year, it might just squeak in there just a little bit, because this is a special type of bad. A bad in the sense that you had potential, but didn't follow through with it. And I feel bad because how they changed up from it was better than their original idea, but it's still disjointed and makes no sense. Basically, the Bellas have their jobs, they're in the real world, except for one who's still in college, the remnants of the last movie. And they all get together for the USO show, someone gets them on, and they meet these bands, who you think are going to be the main focus of this movie. It's going to be them battling these bands who have instruments, and how do you fight something that has natural music? Well, we gotta step up our game, just like the last two movies over and over again. But it's a trilogy-style movie. You're going to get the same rerun over and over again. You just got to go with the flow. I mean, let's be honest. John Wick 2 was the same as John Wick 1, just with a lot more headshots and a lot more world development. But it basically was the same premise. Go in, kill a bunch of guys, and get out. In this case, it's the same for the Bellas. Go in, sing a couple songs, win a competition, get out. But you think with these bands, there's going to be a bit of butting heads of... And they start off that way with the female grunge band Evermoist. Because that's the name of a band. I couldn't remember the name of the Bellas, but I remember that band name because that just sounds so wrong. How did they get past the censors? So the Bellas go and they meet all these bands, and each has their own different flavor, different character, and you expect that to be the main point, them dueling with it. But the last minute I've spent setting this up, they spend about 20. And then they do nothing with it. It's like, oh, here's this band, here's this setup for this movie you think is going to happen. We even have a romance setting up with, between one of the band members and the silent Asian Bella. I can't remember her name. But yeah, you think there's going to be something there. Maybe a comedic date, maybe the Bellas get involved, try to give her good advice, and the guy doesn't know what to do because he lives on the mixtape, or mixed table, so when he's not there, he doesn't know what to do, he doesn't know what to say. You could actually have some humor with this. Not good humor, but, an attempt. And they do nothing with that. Instead, they do what I would call trailer bait. Now, what I mean by that is this. Apparently, Fat Amy, the proverbial, fat one, that one. Other words come to mind, but I'm not going to say them. She apparently has a dad who works with the mafia, I guess, or is a mafioso, or is like a massive drug dealer. Either way, this dude's wealthy off of drugs. So, he gets involved. Fat Amy's past is revealed. And apparently, now we got a hostage movie and spy thriller, which most of those shots were solely used for the trailer. That's it. So, yeah, you think that's going to be the main premise of the movie, and it's not. And that's kind of where the problem resides. You got two movies here trying to buy for attention, but they don't really mesh. But that's not all. We got a third movie in the middle about Bella once again, or Becca? Yeah, Becca. The Bellas, and she's Becca. Becca is apparently trying to make her as a artist now, and has this capability, and you think it's going to be the whole band turns against her, maybe build her up. But you know what's going to happen, and you know how it plays out, so what's the point? Except to give her an ending, because everybody in this movie needs an ending. that kind of makes the people either happy or sad or something. It's just disjointed, guys, and my biggest complaint with this movie isn't just the plot and how disjointed it is. It's the fact that the Bellas really don't sound that good, and that's been my biggest gripe out of the entire Pitch Perfect series. They just don't sound that good. I'm sorry. And you know what? Maybe I've been spoiled on Pentatonix, the one a cappella group I listen to a good bit of. And when you hear the Bellas, you can tell it just doesn't sound right. And yeah, I'm sorry, but that's my biggest gripe here. And if you can get over that and you enjoy the music, fine, go ahead. And if you enjoy the last two, believe it or not, just like The Last Jedi, when I asked people who enjoy the movie, they were split down the middle. Half said they really enjoy this movie, but it's not as good as the second, and the other half said they should have stopped at the second, so let the flame wars begin for Pitch Perfect 3. Still, I guess it boils down to, do I think this is a good movie? No. Do I think, should anyone go in and see it if you've never seen the other ones? Why would you? But if you did watch the last two Pitch Perfects, and you at least got some amusement or a little bit of joy out of them, you'll kind of want to see this one. They do actively end things, but set up for sequels later down the road because one of the Bellas now has a kid, and I guarantee you we're going to get, in 18 years or so, Bella's the new edition. Pitch Perfect. It's back. It's back pitches. Back pitches. Because pitches rhymes with a certain word. I get the odd feeling I just gave them a good idea. So, yeah, if you've seen it, well, if you've seen the other two, go ahead. I wouldn't recommend it in the movie theater. You're not getting much out of it. I would instead wait for, Redbox, Netflix, or I guarantee you it will be on TV. It's PG-13, so they can get away without censoring anything. So, there's that. Normally I don't do this, guys. Feel free to click off, but I gotta get this off my chest here. Hollywood has run out of ideas. They have. Okay, first off, I'm not gonna get into the whole topic about flipping gender movies now, because that's the newest norm, is to take a movie that used to have all men and then change it to all women, even though the fact that they were all men meant absolutely nothing to begin with. Like Ghostbusters. And to anyone saying, once again, that movie was good because it was the first all-female female Ghostbusters, no, there was originally a female Ghostbuster, and even Janine became one in the series. So, before you start doing this, read an article. But yes, sorry. Ghostbusters, I'll review that thing one day when I have a lot more room on this camera, because that's going to be a multi-parter, I guarantee you. But why would I bring that up? Because I saw the trailer to Ocean's 8. And I'm sorry, it's not good, guys. It, once again, doesn't look good. It's trying too hard. What made Ocean's 11 great was the heist. And you had all these characters who just were thieves, but they each had their own little flavor of thievery, or one of their little traits that made a lot of sense. You didn't need the master hacker, or someone who does 3-card Monty, or someone who makes jewelry. You know who those people were? They were the people that Danny Oceans and his crew paid off screen. Yes. Do you remember that, how they got the information for, the penthouse, or how they got the layout of the blueprints? All those people they paid, the average Joes? Yeah. It's basically trying to make a movie out of those people, but it's all female. And look, it could be good, and I want it to be good. I like Ocean's 11. I like Ocean's 13. I tolerate Ocean's 12. And it just makes me upset that they don't seem to get the point of the Ocean series. And you know what? Reimagining, go right ahead. It is what it is. I hope it's good. I really do. The cast, for the most part, looks pretty decent. There wasn't any just outright groan fest. Like, they're not trying to turn this into a comedy, which they don't. You can have your comedy in it, but just make it feel natural. Like, in Ocean's 11, when Bernie Mac goes to get the the two brothers are in the back just jumping up and down on the trucks, messing with the shocks, which, given their character, makes sense. It was natural. So, there's that. And also, why do we have a prequel to Mamma Mia? Somebody tell me why we did that. What would make you think for 5 seconds, 1, Mamma Mia was a good movie, 2, it was warrant of a sequel, 3, nah, we don't need a sequel, we need a prequel, to 4, the entire premise of the first Mamma Mia was that no one knew who the father was, so now apparently we're gonna reveal it somehow? But it doesn't make any sense because the mother's dead, so if she's the one who knows, why didn't we just... It makes no sense, and... Yeah, I'm saving that rant for when I go see that movie. I'm hoping, please, if there was any deity out there listening to this, make something good come out that week so I can skip Mamma Mia. Ocean's 8, I'm pretty much faded to that one because I think it comes out during one of the lull seasons. But just Hollywood has run out of ideas at this point, guys. We now have a romance movie where the entire premise is it's the reverse. Instead of it being a straight romance, now it's a gay romance, which I don't care. Just make it good. That's all I'm asking from these movies are to be good. And it seems, especially in the month of December here, we ain't getting that many good movies out. And yeah, technically I did go see Coco, but Coco I technically was out for a bit and I was late to that one. And Star Wars, disappointment in and of itself, which thinking back on that movie makes me a bit, madder. And who knows, I might do a rant on that one of these days. But just, it's the end of the year. You want to end on a high note. So before I do my top 10 list of stuff I've seen this year, both good and bad, there's one more movie I'm going to go see tonight. And hopefully it'll be up tomorrow morning. I intend to go see the Jumanji movie. Why? Because I liked Jumanji as a kid. It's got The Rock and Kevin Hart. And honestly, CIA was a really good movie. So here's hoping I can end this year on a high note before I make my top 10. Well, now that rant's out of the way, it's great being back, guys. Once again, I'm Kevin Riley, signing off, and I'll see you all next time. Later.